Welcome, hello, it's me again, or me for the first time. I don't know, whenever, if this is the first time you ever watching me, but hi. So today's video I want to talk about my acne story and my struggle with it over the years and how I pretty much got rid of it. I think this is the best my skin has ever been, and it might not look it to most people because you see I have a lot of scarring, but I don't have crazy painful acne anymore, and I don't have anything that's abnormal as it used to be. And I've been struggling with this since I was 12 years old. So since puberty hit, I've been struggling. And basically I wanted to show you my face without makeup so you really get the idea of the real deal. I'm actually, yeah, we're not looking cute right now, but I'm gonna get ready and then you can take a look at how I look with makeup, and I think I'll be way more presentable to have a conversation with you. But basically I just wanted to show you my skin right now. I will insert some photos of how my skin looked with acne, although I don't have many photos because I don't take photos without makeup. And if I do, then I really try and hide the acne. Even now, like, I don't feel comfortable. I'm still uneasy in my own skin when it comes to acne. So, and my scarring too, like I wouldn't go out like this. Probably never, because I don't have the confidence in the skin right now yet. So this is definitely my own process that I'm going through, and I just wanted to share with other people who might also be feeling and dealing with it. So let me just put myself together and then we'll talk a little bit more and I'll tell you what actually helped. And no, it was not Accutane, if you were wondering. I think this is a little bit more presentable, right? Okay, I have to also figure out where I'm gonna put you because I don't really have a tripod here. And honestly, I think I'm gonna, let's see if, I think this is nice light. Hold on about this. I found where to put you. I promise this is temporary until I figure this out. This is the first time I'm shooting a video in a very long time, and yeah, anyways. Back to the real main story, because this is going to be long and I don't want to bore you. So, as you can see, a little bit more presentable. So basically, let me tell you a little bit about my acne story. I've been struggling with acne since I was 12 years old. I moved to Canada when I was 12 years old, so the summer of moving to Canada, I started breaking out. And I didn't know what that meant, and nobody in my family really knew how to deal with it because nobody in my family had such bad skin as I did at 12 years old. Even my sister with her teenage acne was not as bad as what I had. And then nobody I knew had acne yet. It was a struggle, and it was hard because I moved to a new country. I didn't know the language, didn't know the culture much, and then I go into 6th grade and I have all these pimples, and it did not help my self-esteem. I remember I started using makeup very early on to cover up my skin because I just didn't feel comfortable. I hated seeing it because I was different than 90% of the kids in my grade because nobody else had acne yet. Nobody got their period yet. It really was not a comfortable time. And then up until like now, I've had acne. So basically over about 10 years now, I've had acne and it sucked. And if you have it, I totally know what you're going through. It's not a great feeling. So I understand that. And basically since the age of 12 to the age of 14, I used to go to this dermatologist, and I switched a couple, honestly, and they all kind of gave me the same thing. They all gave me topical creams that ended up burning my skin and didn't really improve it long run. It kind of improved for a couple weeks, maybe less, and then it all came back. Nobody talked about a diet. Nobody talked about anything aside from just pushing me products that were not helpful for my skin. They were just irritating my skin more. And at the time, I would also have really bad back acne and chest acne and just everything at once. And it was not getting better. Nobody was really helping out in terms of a medical perspective. And yeah, at the time it just wasn't good. And then at 14, I remember one of the the last dermatologist I went to, they offered me to take the pill, birth control pill. And I was like, okay, like this is my last hope. At the time, they were not offering me Accutane, I believe, yet, because I think I was too young to take it at 14. Almost sure, but not 100%, so don't quote me on that. So I started taking the pill. At the time, it was the Yasmin pill. Yeah, Yasmin. And that was amazing. So I was going to high school at that time. So 14 is high school, yeah. So about 9th grade, I started taking it. And end of 8th grade, I started taking it. Going to 9th grade, I saw insane improvement. My back acne went away, my chest acne went away, my skin on my face improved dramatically. You'll probably see me inserting pictures of my skin in bad conditions throughout this video, but I probably won't find much because, to be completely honest with you, I just never felt comfortable taking photos of my skin when I didn't have makeup on, just my own insecurity about it, and I still deal with this insecurity, so it's something that will take me time, but I hopefully never have to deal with this again. But I don't have many photos, and even the photos you see, you might think they're not as bad, but in reality it was. I just didn't try and take many pictures. I just didn't feel comfortable, and I'm sure a lot of people can see that too and know that as well. If you go on my Instagram, this past year I traveled and I barely took any face photos just because my acne got bad. But anyways, that's not important right now. Let's go back to my birth control story. So basically I took birth control. It was working great throughout high school. And then towards the end of high school, I think it was around 12th grade, my doctor told me that I should switch from Yasmin to a different one because Yasmin wasn't safe anymore. Something was wrong with it in terms of its makeup, and they said that it could cause strokes and blood clogs, and they just told me, we prefer to change the pill for you to something else. And I did. Now I don't remember the name of the pill I changed to, but I remember I wasn't on it for too long because being on that pill, I guess the dosage of it was very low for me, and that really triggered my skin again. And I remember starting university with bad skin again, and I did not have confidence, and it just wasn't good. And the thing with my skin is when I'm pale or winter, my acne gets worse, and then in the summer, obviously when you get sun, my skin gets better, but it's very short-lived because after 2 months in the sun, my skin will get back to its roots of breaking out and not looking good. So summertime, when I was not in Canada and actually got a real tan, my skin was good, but otherwise on regular days it's not. So I changed and I switched to that pill. Wasn't good. I think I was on for about a year and I wasn't happy, so I went to my doctor and asked for a different one. The one I'm currently on is tricycline, and that one I've been on for since university, so since second year I think I've been on that one, and that one has been not perfect like Yasmin because nothing I think beats the strength of Yasmin in terms of the hormone level that they gave you, but it did moderate my acne more, but it did not solve the problem. And then throughout university I kept going to dermatologists and they were like, take antibiotics or take Accutane, and I never wanted to because first of all, antibiotics I don't think would be very beneficial because this is not a short-term problem. Clearly I've had it for many years. There's something deeper than just like, oh, like these pimples will go away if you give antibiotics. Personally, I never believed in it, so I never wanted to go forward with it. Accutane, on the other hand, just seemed extremely invasive and freaked me out. I didn't want to do monthly blood tests. I didn't want to have my liver potentially suffer. I didn't want my whole skin to dry out and my lips to crack, and I just knew my mood is going to be very affected because it affects your mood and your mental health very much, and I just didn't want to take a risk. I just didn't think it was worth it enough. And the thing is, I do know a lot of people who have taken Accutane and it crazy, but it helped their skin. It actually solved their problem, but I didn't think it was worth it, so I never took it. And yeah, so Accutane was never an option, and I stayed with that. In the last few years, I just took birth control pills, but didn't take any topical creams, did nothing, and no doctor really offered me an insight about anything. And then I was researching some stuff on YouTube and just reading up, and a lot of people saying change your diet. And I didn't realize that there's a correlation between your skin and your diet and what's going on. And I never thought it was necessarily an inside problem at the time, but then I realized it was, because the thing that started this process for me was removing dairy. I realized that dairy was not good for my skin. It actually created inflammation, and it just wasn't good for my skin. I just realized that a lot of sugar and a lot of dairy, or generally dairy, caused the problem most of the time that I noticed, because I got off dairy for I didn't eat dairy for about half a year, and then I went back to eating dairy, and my skin started breaking out. Then I tested it again, stopped eating dairy then a couple months ago, and I ate a slice of pizza because I wanted to test. I really wanted to see, is this correlated? Is it truly one of the issues that caused my skin to break out? And it was. So I realized I can't consume dairy. This is not for me. Now, I'm not crazy restrictive. Like, if there's cake, it doesn't have to be a vegan cake. But I would prefer it, just so I know, but it doesn't have to be. But I still eat the cupcakes and creams or whatever in foods. I will not restrict that, but I would not eat yogurt or drink milk or eat cheese, because those things will 100% cause and bring back my acne. So that was out of my diet. I also realized that high consumption of sugar and deep fried food have caused a lot of it. And that happened to me in my trip this past year, because the first time I've had really, really cyst acne, and it was really on my chin over here, and it was painful. I've never experienced something so painful. And it would pop around my period, but sometimes really not around my period, randomly, and it made you feel uncomfortable. And I couldn't put makeup on because it was 30 degrees and there's humidity. So you can't really cover up your skin, because if you do, you clog your pores even more. So I just remember walking around Bali with this disgusting skin of mine. Like, I don't think this is... See, like, I say these things because it's my own insecurity when I look at acne, and I look at myself in the mirror with acne, and I just don't like myself. I never did. It was really hard, and it's a process I'm going through. So if any of my words are triggering, I really apologize, because I'm talking about this to myself. When I see somebody else with acne, I don't think they're disgusting. I sympathize with them. I know the struggle and the pain they're going through. And trust me, I've cried enough nights over this, because there's nothing more frustrating that you don't know why your body's doing something, and it doesn't matter what products you use and what you do, nothing makes it better. So you just keep feeling like shit all the time, and you don't feel like yourself, and you feel like you're not your full potential, because you feel like everybody's looking at your acne and your pimples, and you just don't feel good. So I apologize if the way I speak might sound triggering or offensive, but it's not towards anyone but myself. And I know I shouldn't be so critical of myself, but that's the kind of conversation I used to have with myself. Obviously, my mind has changed since I started the process of seeing a difference in my skin. So I'm getting better with my self-love when it comes to my skin. But it is a process. It's not going to happen overnight. I needed to share this video, because if what I'm doing actually going to help more people, and it's not going to cause you to take Accutane and put topical creams and whatever else crap they make you put on your skin or consume, I will make this video. So to continue, I would just walk around any country I was in this past year and not feel good, because I knew, or at least in my head, I felt that people were watching my skin. They were looking at my acne. They were like, she's pretty, but kind of thing, And I know this is not important, but it gets to you. It gets to you after a while when you realize you don't know what to do and how to improve it. So at the time when I was traveling this past year, I wasn't very strict with my diet because I wanted to try everything. So I would eat dairy and I would eat a lot of deep fried and sugar. So I know that that had a huge impact on it. And so I got the cyst and I got a lot of bumps that were under my skin. So it wasn't even acne anymore, but it was really weird bumps under my skin and a lot of black and white heads, and it was not cute. It really wasn't. And I really don't have much footage of anything in the past 11 years that has acne really, because I just didn't feel good documenting it. I didn't feel good going out of the house without makeup. And that's still true till this day, 90% of the time, unless I'm tanned and my skin doesn't look scarred. And that's something I still have to deal with. The next thing that actually made all the difference in this process was apple cider vinegar. And maybe you've heard about this, or maybe you haven't, or you've tried it and you don't think this works. I think this is the greatest thing I've ever consumed in my entire life, because that changed everything. So in the summer when I got back to Canada, I just was tired. I wanted to make a difference, and I've heard about apple cider vinegar and I knew that it might help. So I was like, I have nothing to lose at this point. So at that point, I was not eating any dairy anymore, not consuming any deep fried. Well, I was trying. You have the occasional fries and stuff, but it wasn't part of my regular diet. And obviously there were more vegetables and greens and goods in my diet. So that was a huge part. So definitely a diet that's rich in vitamins and greens and fruits and is gonna make a big difference. So less sugar and no dairy is big. But then the next thing, the apple cider vinegar, it was amazing. So what I did was I decided I'll try it. And obviously you don't see results within the first week. It takes about a month to really start seeing your skin change and start working and fixing itself. It's not an overnight success, but if you give it time, it works. Here, I'll show you the one I'm using. This one is the apple cider vinegar I love. This is, I think, my third bottle at this point. So the way I consumed it, each person to his own, but that's how I found that was my remedy. Basically, for a full month, I took a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, put that in a big glass with unpasteurized, I think it's pasteurized, that's pasteurized. Unpasteurized, like totally organic, clean, natural honey, and a tablespoon, like a nice thick handlespoon of teaspoon of honey. Then you put that in, you mix it, and then you add water, like a full glass of water, and you mix them really well, so you kind of see this different color water. It looks different. It doesn't look like what you would expect a drink will look like. It kind of changes its color. That's how you know you really mixed it well. So then you drink it every single day. I didn't find that it mattered if I drank it first thing in the morning or with my lunch. It made no difference. Just warning, it does not taste amazing. It's not crazy disgusting. I mean, if it's hard to take the flavor, obviously add more honey. Add ice too, that really helps in terms of neutralizing the flavor. Consume that every single day for a month. Okay, that's what I did. For a full month, consume it every single day. After that, when I started seeing improvements, I was like, okay, I don't need to be so much on it, and I can let my body rest from this consumption. So I started taking it a couple times a week. Not every single day, every other day or so. And that kept it going. And I know that eventually, once I have like a full routine, I will take it once a week. Because I don't see why you need to put too much if you see that your body is working. Because after that, I did not consume apple cider vinegar for a month, and my skin was still very, very good. So I know that it's a long-term effect, and it's an easy thing to add to your diet. It's actually healthy too. Overall, apple cider vinegar is known to be a healthy product to consume. You can put it in your salad dressing and in foods or whatever you do. But I think for acne purposes, I think the way I'm describing it should be the best way. I mean, at least that's how I got and saw results. So I'm recommending this. Obviously, I'm not a professional. I'm not a doctor. I can't say this is gonna solve all your problems, it's gonna solve your acne, but if you're in a place where you feel like you've tried everything and you wanna give one more thing a shot before you take Accutane or take whatever strong drug they offer, I think this would be beneficial. And I'm challenging you basically, because I don't think that could hurt. I don't think don't drink the bottle, just take a teaspoon, you know? So I think that's a good challenge to try, having that and seeing how well it works on your skin over time. And I would love to hear feedback. I would love to know if anybody tried it, if anybody knows how it worked for them or somebody else they know. And if you want to try it, I really highly recommend it because it made a difference for me. And if you have any questions, please leave them down below. I will be more than happy to answer. Obviously, I'm not a professional, so I can only answer based on my own experience. And this is all based on my own experience. So this advice is not as a replacement of anything else. It's just me saying what worked for me and what I think would actually work for others. But I can't guarantee anything. Like, I can't guarantee this is gonna work for you, but I can say that this works for me and I think this will work for others and yourself. Because why wouldn't it? It's magic. I'm kidding, but truthfully, in the last 6 months, my skin has tremendously improved. So now that I'm realizing and seeing that I don't have any new active acne, I'm gonna start working and figuring out how I can fix my my scars and my dark spots on my skin that were caused by acne. And yeah, that's kind of it for this video. I mean, I hope you liked it. I really hope I didn't offend anybody, because sometimes I don't have a filter, but this is all directed based on my experience and my own thoughts about myself. So it's not inclusive of anybody else. If you're struggling with acne, I truly know how you feel, and it's shit, especially when you know it affects your self-esteem and how you feel about yourself and your surroundings, and you don't want to go out. You know, it came to points where I didn't go out. If I saw that I can't cover up my pimples and it looked really bad, I would just say I'm not feeling well, I didn't want to go out. And a lot of my actions were dependent on how my skin looked for years. So if you're in that position, I hope that if you try this does help and that makes a difference. So to recap and to get to the point, dairy-free lifestyle, try it. I mean, it's hard because cheese is amazing, I know, but try it. Try dairy-free for a little bit. And again, none of these things happen overnight, okay? It takes time. You need to let your body get used to it. So dairy-free, apple cider vinegar with honey and water, and reduce sugar intake, and deep fried food. And if you do all these things, and you can come back and message me a month and a half from now when starting this and telling me that this made a difference to you, I'll be the happiest person in the world. Because honestly, I just want everybody to feel confident and good in their own skin. Because even after you get rid of it, it still fucks with your head. And it takes time. And I know that it's a process, so it's going to take me time to get through it. And I know it's going to take time for you to get through it, but we can do it, and it's going to be great. Thank you for watching. I hope this helped someone. And we'll see each other next time. Bye.